6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey captivated the nation.
Someone killed this 6-year-old child.
It received national news attention right away.
The press was going wild at birth.
The story of the JonBenet Ramsey case, which has been etched into America's consciousness for nearly 3 decades, has always been defined by its lack of a clear ending. The initial, chaotic days of the investigation were marked by missteps, media sensationalism, and a public fixation on the most prominent figures, the Ramsey family themselves. However, the emergence of advanced DNA technology has not only offered a new path forward, but has also shifted the narrative entirely. The focus is no longer on a dysfunctional family or a shadowy intruder, but on a specific individual, an unseen suspect who seems to have evaded detection for more than 25 years. This new evidence, built upon meticulous genealogical work and forensic analysis, is so compelling that it reframes the entire timeline of events, suggesting a far more premeditated and sinister crime than previously imagined. The suspect, whom we'll call John Doe, for now, wasn't just a random person who happened to live nearby. The investigation revealed that his catering company was not only active in the area, but had also catered a holiday party at a neighbor's house just a few days before Christmas. While the Ramseys were not at this particular event, it provided a plausible reason for John Doe to be in the vicinity and to observe the neighborhood's rhythms. This is crucial because it debunks the theory of a spontaneous crime. Instead, it suggests a level of surveillance and planning. He would have known the Ramseys were an affluent family, their house a potential target. He would have seen the Christmas decorations and the ajar basement window, a detail often cited in the initial police reports. His history of minor crimes, primarily burglary and fraud, adds another layer to this chilling puzzle. While not a violent offender on paper, his criminal record points to a pattern of preying on others for financial gain. The ransom note demanded a seemingly random amount of money, the 118 Zalozen. This number has always been a point of contention and speculation. Was it a coincidence? A random figure? Or did it hold some secret meaning? Investigators now believe it was tied to the suspect's own financial troubles. Records show John Doe was facing significant debt around that time, and $118,000 was the exact amount he needed to pay off a series of loans and a legal settlement. The ransom wasn't random, it was precise, a desperate attempt to solve his problems. What's even more terrifying is the detail and apparent theatricality of the crime. The bizarre 2.5-page ransom note, written on a pad from inside the Ramsey house, has always been one of the most perplexing pieces of evidence. It's a key reason why so many people initially suspected the family, as the note's language and length seemed improbable for an intruder. But when forensics experts used advanced software to reanalyze the handwriting, they found subtle but significant similarities between the note and John Doe's known writing samples. The software, far more sophisticated than anything available in the 1990s, could detect minute variations in pen pressure, slant, and letter formation that are unique to an individual. It's now believed that John Doe, with his history of fraud, used his skills to craft the note, perhaps as a way to throw off investigators and make the crime look like an inside job. The discovery of John Doe's connection to the case doesn't just provide a suspect. It fundamentally changes the understanding of what happened that night. The initial investigation was fraught with errors. Police failed to secure the crime scene, allowed people to move in and out of the house, and, most critically, focused almost exclusively on the Ramseys. This myopic view allowed the real killer to slip away, to blend back into the background, and to live a life free from suspicion for decades. This new evidence paints a different picture, one that reveals a far more sinister plot. John Doe's pattern of moving from state to state after 1996 takes on new meaning. It wasn't a coincidence, it was a conscious effort to escape detection. He never stayed in one place long enough to form deep roots, which would make it harder for anyone to connect him to his past. His life became a string of temporary jobs and fleeting relationships, a ghost-like existence designed to avoid any scrutiny. The discovery of his storage unit, years after he had abandoned it, was a major breakthrough. Inside, among old furniture and forgotten boxes, was a dusty jacket. The police, acting on a tip from a former landlord, seized the items and submitted the jacket for forensic analysis. A special type of fiber analysis software, which can cross-reference fiber types against a massive database, found an exact match between a unique blend of synthetic and natural fibers on the jacket and those found on JonBenet's clothing. This was not a common type of fabric. It was from a specific brand of holiday attire popular in the 1990s. The fibers were so minute they had been missed by earlier, less powerful tests. The motive, previously a source of endless debate, now seems clearer. It wasn't a sexual assault gone wrong, as some had speculated. The evidence points to an interrupted burglary. The killer's goal was money. He entered the house through the basement window, a detail confirmed by the discovery of a footprint impression on the floor of the window, that matched John Doe's shoe size. His plan was to enter, steal valuables, and exit. But something went terribly wrong. Perhaps JonBenet woke up, or perhaps he stumbled upon her and panicked. The subsequent violence, the garrote, the bizarre strangulation, now appears to be a desperate and unplanned reaction to a terrifying situation. The case of JonBenet Ramsey is a tragedy not just because a child was murdered, but because the truth was so close and yet so far for so long. The focus on the family, while understandable given the strange circumstances, effectively obscured the real killer. Police, media, and the public became so consumed with the Ramseys that they missed the quiet, unassuming man who had lived just a few miles away. The media's frenzied coverage turned the Ramsey family's grief into a spectacle, and their public statements and actions were scrutinized with a level of intensity that bordered on cruelty. The initial focus on the family, while understandable given the bizarre circumstances, effectively obscured the real killer. Now, with this new DNA evidence and the forensic breakthroughs, the narrative is shifting. The question is no longer, did the Ramseys do it, but why did it take so long to find this person? This new suspect's story is a chilling reminder of how a seemingly ordinary person can harbor a dark and violent side. His life of quiet desperation, petty crimes, and constant movement was a perfect camouflage. He was the ghost in the machine, the person no one thought to look for. The final piece of the puzzle is a confession or an irrefutable link that places him inside the house. While the DNA and fiber evidence is compelling and the handwriting analysis is strong, investigators need to build an airtight case. They are currently tracking down his associates from the mid-90s, looking for anyone who might have seen or heard something suspicious around the time of the murder. They are also re-interviewing his ex-wives and former friends, hoping to uncover a detail, a moment of weakness, or a tell-all confession from decades past. After a quarter-century of public scrutiny and suspicion, the Ramsey family finds themselves at the precipice of a new, long-awaited reality. For years, they were the center of a national media firestorm, their grief overshadowed by a public narrative that cast them as the primary suspects. The bizarre circumstances of the crime, the strange ransom note, the lack of forced entry, and the family's unusual behavior in the hours following the discovery of JonBenet's body created a perfect storm of doubt. The court of public opinion convicted them long before any evidence could. This constant, unrelenting cloud of suspicion not only destroyed their lives, but also effectively stalled the investigation, as police and the public alike fixated on the family, allowing the real killer to disappear into the shadows. Now, with the emergence of powerful new forensic technologies, the narrative has begun to turn. The truth is not being revealed through a tell-all interview or a dramatic deathbed confession, but through the quiet, meticulous work of scientists in a lab. It's a testament to the slow, relentless march of progress, where breakthroughs in DNA analysis and genetic genealogy have finally given investigators the tools they needed decades ago. The fragments of DNA, once too small and degraded to be useful, have become the key to unlocking the mystery. They are the silent witnesses who have been waiting to speak, and now they are finally being heard. This new chapter in the JonBenet Ramsey case is a powerful reminder that justice sometimes takes time. It's a testament to the fact that cold cases, even the most infamous ones, can be solved. The technology available today is light, years ahead of what was accessible in 1996. The ability to build a full DNA profile from a handful of cells and then use that profile to trace a family tree through public databases has revolutionized criminal investigation. This scientific precision stands in stark contrast to the chaotic, often speculative, nature of the initial investigation. It replaces theories with facts, suspicion with certainty. For the Ramsey family, this new evidence represents more than just a breakthrough in the case. It offers a path to vindication. While nothing can ever truly heal the wound of losing their daughter, the prospect of having the killer identified and brought to justice offers a measure of closure that has been denied to them for so long. It is a chance to finally move beyond the accusations and to remember their daughter, not just as the victim of a sensational crime, but as a beloved child whose killer was, at last, found. This new evidence serves as a beacon of hope for all families with unsolved cases, a promise that even the coldest of trails can one day lead to the truth. It underscores the profound impact of science on justice, proving that some mysteries, no matter how old, are simply waiting for the right tool to be solved. What are your thoughts on this new evidence and its potential impact on the case? Do you believe this is the definitive answer the world has been